Welcome back to my channel. If you guys like the content that we create, please give a like and subscribe. It will really help out this channel to keep making these videos for you guys. Today we're doing the Bart Simpson Treehouse of Horror comic issue number 6 with the third story in the comic. Bart Simpson is skateboarding back home when out of nowhere a car hits him. Professor Frank overhears the screeching of the car and the dumping of Detroit metal against human boy flesh. He rushes outside to see the carnage and decides to use the boy's body for an experiment he has been working on. Professor Frank and his flying monkey assistant drags the boy's bodies inside and got the idea of taking Bart's head and putting on the teenager's boy's body. Professor Frank gave money he has in his personal safe, which can only be opened through retina scan, to his flying monkey assistant to get him the tools he needs to start the experiment. Professor Frank orders his flying monkey assistant to pull the lever, and the zap zippity zap, and the science thing happens. Vohoy! It's alive! It's alive! Good heaven! Professor Frank informs Bart that he was hit by a car. In order to save his life, he transplanted his head onto a teenage boy's body, and Bart couldn't be happier. Bart couldn't wait to do all the things teenagers do. Sulk and sneer whenever adults are around, stay out late and worry their parents sick, and get something pierced. But Professor Frank said not so fast. He has to conduct more tests before Bart's able to leave. So he sent Bart to his room. Bart sneaks out to seek other teenagers to partay with them. But teenagers do what they always do. When someone looks a bit different from the norm, they totally embrace them for their original attitude. Yeah, right. They treated Bart as a monster and chased him out of the diner. So now the cops are looking for a Frankenstein monster. And Professor Frank is scolding Bart and told him what will happen if he left the house. Now how can they change his look so the cops won't look for him? The monkey assistant informed Professor Frank that a visitor was at the door. A handsome 18-year-old drifter, recently orphaned with no family ties, no friends or acquaintances. If he were to disappear today, nobody would miss him. Professor Frank couldn't be happier, inviting him to come inside, gave him a drink, and then took his head off. Professor Frank told Bart that this is the last time he gives him a new head. Pushed Bart under. When Bart came to, he realized that Professor Frank took over the handsome 18-year-old's body and gave Bart his head. Professor Frank explains to Bart that all his life he was a nerd and that he could finally be handsome and the girls would throw themselves at him. So now that he was going to start his new life, he went to the safe to get money. He forgot that a retina scan is needed. With Bart now having the professor's eyes, he has all the money he can need for the rest of his life. And in the last panel, you see Bart throwing money around. Professor Frank with the girls in hand, and his monkey assistant having Bart's old head. So everything worked out fine. The end.